Looking for ways to soak up the summer fun without soaking your budget? Tonight's simple moves to keep your wallet from overheating. The Cuyahoga County Scam Squad is going to the front lines for fraud prevention, hoping bank tellers can help stop scam victims from withdrawing their money only to pass it to scammers. And a couple of big retailers are slashing prices this summer, hoping to help customers fill their carts for less. Welcome to the Watchdog, where we protect consumers, share warnings and alerts, and help you save money. I'm Jen Pachano. The Cuyahoga County Scam Squad is getting ready to roll out a new teller-based fraud prevention program. They're partnering with banks and credit unions to stop potential scam victims before they drain their bank accounts.
People work hard for their money and they're putting it at the credit union to build it. You know, the last thing you want to do is watch somebody come in tears and it's all gone. And it's gone that quickly. And all we have to do is take a pause and stop that.
Intervening to stop a scam victim from giving away their hard-earned money can be a difficult task for a bank employee just trying to alert them to red flags and scammers' tactics to get them to withdraw thousands of dollars.
And a lot of times the scammers have already coached them, hey, we think someone at the bank is involved, is part of your problem, allowed your account to be hacked into by bad guys.
The Cuyahoga County Scam Squad and new partner institutions are ready to launch a teller-based fraud prevention program with a half-sheet handout of yes-no questions designed to get the customer to take a minute and think through what they're about to do.
You can get your member to say, to take that pause. And to really think about, do I want to do this today? You know, do I want to take $15,000 in hundreds and put it in my purse and walk out the door?
Brian Kiggins with Unity Catholic Credit Union says they instruct their tellers to use a handout with questions to get the customers to pause if they're trying to withdraw $5,000 or more, which he says happens 3 or 4 times a month at their branch alone.
Questions like, are you withdrawing cash to deposit to a cryptocurrency machine or an ITM?
That questionnaire they've been using since 2024 served as inspiration for the handout the Scam Squad will be utilizing for the beta program at participating banks and credit unions throughout Cuyahoga County. Kiggins says they've seen this approach work on one of their members who tried to get $15,000 in hundreds out.
After answering the questions on the survey, she said, you know what? I'm not doing this today.
By striking during this important interaction between a bank teller and a customer, Cheryl Harris with the Cuyahoga County Department of Consumer Affairs hopes to meet scam victims where they're at emotionally.
We thought, well, let's work with psychologists and let's work with crisis intervention specialists, people who are used to saying to people who are on the ledge, it is not the way you see it. Come, step back and let's talk.
Kiggins says tellers are also empowered to use stalling techniques if a member's withdrawal request is out of the ordinary or suspicious.
If they feel like something really bad is happening, of course, we have the opportunity to say, you know what, I don't have that. We're going to have to special order that. Or we have to wait for our cash order.
A research team out of Cincinnati is going to be studying the results of the beta test to determine the success rate, so the Scam Squad can then tweak the questions and handout if necessary to save even more people from giving away their life savings to a scammer. The Scam Squad is currently reaching out to banks and credit unions with at least one branch in the county to recruit them to participate in the test phase, which is slated to begin later this summer, maybe early fall. Institutions interested can call the Department of Consumer Affairs at 216-443-7035. Well, there's a new task force at work to bring down the most wanted fraudsters in Ohio, and they've got the resources of the FBI kicking it into high gear. Harry Boomer shows us who they're after.
You're looking at a new type of FBI poster. It's called the Most Wanted Fraudsters List. These people have already been caught, and the FBI is cracking down big time to reel in more people and to take back stolen possessions.
We're getting cars, we're getting jewelry, we're getting homes, we're getting cash.
The FBI Fraud Division is partnering with Ohio to prosecute fraud cases, hauling in over $42 million in ill-gotten gains already, nationally. The crackdown is gearing up by drying up the cash flow to those who steal through fraud.
When we turn off the funds because either states or we know that whether it's a center, whether it's a program, whether it's a hospital, whether it's an individual is not qualified, that also stops the flow of money.
During a news conference featuring all of the national heavy hitters, the message is clear. The feds are now working closely with Ohio officials and the Department of Justice to dismantle a sophisticated Medicaid fraud scheme that exploited taxpayers, money that belongs to you and me.
We have to create a disincentive. It should not be worth it for these guys to do what they're doing. And until very recently, this was a phenomenal opportunity if you were a criminal. It was unchecked. The money was unlimited.
Giant Eagle is hoping to help consumers make ends meet, cutting prices on more than 300 items across the store. So they're reducing prices by an average of 10% through Labor Day. Among the items you'll be able to get cheaper are proteins and summer snack favorites, like 70 cents per pound a drop in ground beef, $1 off family-sized Cheez-Its, and 50 cents off per pound on grapes. And Walmart has also agreed to lower prices on many products to celebrate our great country's 250th birthday. The price of 73% ground beef going to drop by almost 15% from $6.75 to $5.95 per pound. Barbecues are a summer tradition, but firing up the grill is getting more expensive. The National Retail Federation says Americans were expected to spend more than $9 billion on food. CBS's Gwen Baumgartner takes a look at where shoppers may have to splurge and where they can still save.
It might as well be the sound of summer.
Big barbecue, yeah, gearing up for it.
This 4th of July, half of Americans plan to host or attend a barbecue, ringing in America's 250 with an estimated 150 million hot dogs.
I love a good ribeye. My brother usually grills some steaks and burgers, hot dogs.
But heating up faster than the grill are prices, with hamburgers up 14% from this time last year, hot dogs up 5%. Even the veggie tray prices have grown.
A lot of times we're on autopilot when it comes to menu planning, but then we start thinking about, well, what's the cash register going to ask for when I get to the end of it?
Economist Michael Swanson says when it comes to protein, chicken is a cheaper option than beef. And with egg prices down 14% from last July, side dishes like potato salad or deviled eggs can help stretch the budget.
Is that something you're conscious about?
Oh, absolutely, yes. We have been trying, we do a lot of meal planning.
Another way to save, make it a potluck. Wells Fargo puts the average 10-person barbecue at $161, up from $130 last summer.
When you think about that, for $16 for a meal that has dessert and protein and beverages and fruits and vegetables and deviled eggs, you're putting in a lot of work there, but you're getting a lot of food.
A tasty tradition taking a bigger bite out of Americans' budgets as the country turns 250. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Burbank, California.
Summer is a great time to be outside, but many summertime activities also come with a cost. Consumer investigator Rachel DePompa finds out what you need to know to stay on budget in this Watching Your Wallet.
Whether it's money for activities to keep the kids busy, camp, traveling, even home improvement projects or repairs after a rough winter, summer budgets can add up quickly. Debt relief attorney Leslie Tain says it's important to have a summer budget each year, whether you start that now or next winter in time for next year's summer months. Planning and saving ahead are key.
Especially if you're putting money aside for a kids' camp or travel, it's a great idea to put together a savings account to put that money away. Many programs will also offer you the opportunity to pay them off over the course of the winter. So if you're thinking about programs or trips, take a look and ask about payment plans that might be available that fits within your budget.
Tain says if you're not traveling and you don't have kids, you might want to consider a no-spend summer, where you take one of the months and try not to spend any money on extras, just your normal bills. Therefore, putting more money away for maybe your winter plans.
Soon after the summer, the winter holidays are upon us. So summer's a great time to have a no-spend type of objective so that you can put money away for the winter.
Tain also points out a great thing about summer is there are so many activities that are just free, from fairs to local parks and even farmers markets and festivals. There are plenty of places to go where you don't have to pay to play. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
Coming up on the Watchdog, we'll share a disturbing attempted sextortion case out of Solon and what the teenage gamer and the parent did right to avoid a much worse outcome. Welcome back to the Watchdog. I'm Jen Pachano, and we have reached the Ask the Scam Squad portion of our show, where we talk to members of the Cuyahoga County Scam Squad about cases that are coming across their desk. And today we bring in Lieutenant Bill Vodich of the Solon Police Department. Thank you so much for joining us.
Sure, thank you.
So you gave me a summary of some of the more notable cases that have come through to the Solon Police Department. Two of them caught my eye. One is a sextortion and one is an extortion case. One involving a 16-year-old boy. What happened here?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think law enforcement, we encounter these cases. We didn't used to get it years ago.
Yeah.
But it's a newer thing because it kind of lines up with technology and how people communicate these days. Using apps and dating services and things like that. Mm-hmm. The one with the 16-year-old a couple months ago. He had been communicating. He was a gamer, and sometimes you can actually create profiles and communicate with other folks.
There's a community within it.
Yeah, God only knows where the people live.
Yeah,
could be anywhere. You could create a profile as a 45-year-old man, saying that you're a 16-year-old girl, and start a relationship really that way. Digitally, and you're playing games together over a course of time. Well, there's also another app. Discord was used in this instance. Mm-hmm. This is how this 16-year-old boy, how he was communicating with somebody, and it was very short. It wasn't even that complicated, but in the process, he got a picture of our victim's face. And I forget exactly how they did it, but they got off of Discord, they got into emails and things like that. And he showed him a picture of his own face, a picture of somebody naked from the waist down, not his face, of course, because it was somebody else.
Right.
And basically said, if you do not send me $300, I'm going to out these pictures to everybody because I went on your Facebook and I found your friends. And, I know your other friends through the Discord community.
Right.
And, it's all connected. So... Well, he kind of freaked out a little bit, like anybody would, but he really didn't do it. So, he did the right thing, and he told one of his parents about what was going on.
Thank goodness that he went to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got involved right away. Were able to freeze, that account, report the abuse, through Discord.
The potential or the attempted extortion.
Right. Mm-hmm. You can do that on any. Well, I can't speak for every social media application, of course, but usually there's some way to quickly report that little interaction as abusive. Yeah. Things like that. So they were able to do that. Flag the bad guy account, and
no losses there, thank goodness.
No losses.
And I mean, I'm sure this could have gone much differently if that had been a photo of him.
He may not have reported it right as quickly.
Yeah, or they may have paid, or there may have been. I mean, we've seen really tragic cases of kids who think they have nothing else that they can do about it.
Yeah, and
it's good
never,
that they came forward to the police department right
away.
Right,
and it's never the end. And I think we've seen the worst of the worst stories with this, and families that go on being affected by the worst possible outcome. Yeah. And nothing's ever going to be the end. I mean, especially for these young folks that feel that way because they're only 16, 17. This goes away eventually. Yeah. The images may stay out there, but no one's going to care in a couple of years, probably in a couple of months, that this happened. Once you're out of school, man, you're on your own. It's
got to weather the storm.
Yeah, weather the storm. It's worth it.
Yeah. So there's another case just a couple months ago of a 35-year-old man who was reporting that somebody was trying to extort him for money, and this was through text message, which a lot of scams are being communicated through text messages now. What happened in this case, Lieutenant?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I don't know, and I don't know if it was revealed to us the whole context of how that individual got the phone number, to text him. But it was pretty quick, that in the relationship, if you could call it that. Yeah. That they said that they had some pictures of the person.
A 35-year-old man reported that somebody was trying to extort him for money. He got a text message that was demanding $200 to treat an STD that the victim allegedly gave to the person who was texting this person. So this is an STD extortion. This is a new one for me.
Yeah, it was bizarre, and we don't get a lot of those. Usually it's images, and yeah. So this one to have the funny thing is, or interesting thing, $200 is still a lot of money, but it's only $200, not $20,000.
Right.
So the attempt on these kind of things is pretty quick. It's simple.
Well, and they hope it'll go away, even if they aren't at fault here.
Yes, even if you're not,
to make that embarrassing thing go away is a small price to pay.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yes, that's exactly where I was going with
because
that.
we're looking at the report says the suspect threatened to share potentially embarrassing secrets, which could be found online.
Yes.
The victim was going to press charges because
Yep.
there are charges that could be involved if you knowingly pass something on like that, right?
Yeah, it's a big deal, and especially if your name publicly gets out there tied into something like that, and you have a position of some status, or even just to anybody.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
They probably have some public access to your friends on Facebook and whatever apps you subscribe to.
So if somebody has been a victim or thinks that someone they know is potentially being extorted or a victim of sextortion, what should they do?
Well, you tell somebody and you report it. The first thing is, like I said earlier, if it's possible for you to report that interaction, through the app, do so to hopefully shut it down. And unfortunately, you got to involve the police department if you're really worried about it.
Yeah.
Maybe you just don't care and you're like, well, do what you're going to do. But this is embarrassing stuff. And once you start being at a financial loss for something, the only way that you're going to probably put an end to it or have any sort of thing done afterwards is to report it to law enforcement. But I'm telling you right now, if you get started on giving one dime to the scammer in those situations, they will never stop asking, and the damage is already done.
Yeah.
They can do what they're going to do, and they are going to do what they're going to do, regardless of if you pay the $1, the $200, the whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're still, if their intent was to go to the effort of actually outing you and putting those images out there, it's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah, the floodgates. All right. Thank you so much, Lieutenant.
Sure.
Next on the Watchdog, children everywhere are trading and playing with those needles, but there's a dangerous new challenge that is sending children to the hospital. A warning now about a dangerous social media trend that is sending children to hospitals with severe burns. It comes from putting a popular gel-filled toy called a Nido cube in the microwave. That can cause it to explode. So some kids have also been burned after leaving the toys in hot cars. The gel inside the toys can rupture and explode if heated, microwaved, or even frozen. There have been reports of children getting burned in the U.S. and in Europe. So now let's move to our recall roundup here on the Watchdog. More than 12,000 Cuisinart Propel Plus 4-burner 3-in-1 gas grills are being recalled by Conair due to serious injury from laceration hazard. So the CPSC says those tempered glass windows in the pizza oven can actually shatter during use. Cuisinart also recalling nearly 1.8 million grill brushes due to ingestion hazard. Now, these grill brush recalls, they come up a lot. The small metal wire bristles, they can detach from those brushes and then stick to the grill or your food so you can ingest it and have some serious internal injuries that could require surgery, according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission there. So another appliance recall now. This one involves more than 3,000 Insignia gas ranges sold by Best Buy. They're being recalled over a fire hazard concern. Consumers are cautioned to keep children away, as well as pets, from the knobs here. They want you to check the range knobs to ensure they're actually off before you leave home or you go to bed, and don't leave objects on the range when it's not in use. There's actually been a report of the knobs being activated by accidental contact. Thankfully, no injuries. Consumers should stop using the recalled oven immediately and visit Best Buy's recall website to participate in the recall. Well, that's it for this episode of The Watchdog here on 19 News Plus. Now, every week, we're going to bring you the latest scam alerts, fraud reports, recalls, and trending consumer news each Wednesday evening at 6:30. If you'd like to catch some previous Scam Squad stories, you can always find those on Cleveland19.com under the News tab. I'm Jen Pachano. Thanks, everybody, for watching.